welcome. Well, before I get started, I want to let you know that I went up to New York last week and had the pleasure of meeting and arranging flowers with the entire staff of H. Bloom in New York, and they are wonderful. I wish you could meet them all because they're just incredibly talented and creative and compassionate people. So I just wanted to pass that news along that I'm very pleased to be working with H. Bloom myself, and certainly with the quality of people that I met in their New York office. So now I'll get back to the flowers. So what I thought we'd do this week is actually sort of go back to something a little bit more traditional, which I've been thinking a lot about lately. And so I'm going to make a design that actually is inspired by my grandmother, who originally arranged flowers with me and really taught me most of what I know, she and my mother. And then I've picked up a lot along the way from many other talented designers and friends, and from seeing floral designs around the world. So today, this is a simple style that's going to look somewhat traditional, and I think should be nice for this time of year when we're focusing on the holidays and family. So let me show you this. I've got this wonderful cedar here, and it smells incredible. Just this alone would be nice in your house, and I hope you like it. If you don't like the smell, I'm sorry, just toss it, but I think you'll enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is cut it apart, and I'm saving these little pieces here. And I'm then going to stick this in. See how I now have a nice clean stem. I'm going to put this in here, and then I can use this piece in a similar fashion, cutting off the lateral pieces, sticking this in. All right, filling up my vase, really beautiful vase that my mother found for me in St. Louis, where I'm from. And here, this is another great one to stick in. I'm building a nice nest. In fact, this one's a little long, so I'm going to trim it. Oftentimes I'll start and then I notice a problem, and it's no big deal to fix it. Okay, I'm going to cut this down here, save the laterals. Then I think I'll do one more piece. Again, saving these nice little feathery lateral pieces on the side. Then I've got some of this awesome privet berry that came in from California, and I love the blues, and this is going to add to that sort of romantic, traditional feel. And here's a little piece. And it isn't perfect, which actually makes it look natural. The berries, so they might look a little rustic. These were not grown on a farm somewhere, to be mass produced. So they aren't always perfect, but I still wanted to include them in your bundle because I just think they're beautiful the way they are, and they look so natural. Okay, here we go. Using them to sort of flop out the sides. I may keep a few pieces of them. I think that's good. I'll keep this last little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in some of my awesome blue delphinium Volkerfrieden, like that German name there, electric blue. It's gorgeous. That's a color. It's called a few different things for different people, but we're going to call it just beautiful delphinium, and I'm going to cut it down and stick it right in here. In some cases, saving a little bit for a small piece I'll do later. So I'd say that one of the biggest lessons here is you can cut down flowers and change the way that they came, in the sense that you aren't actually changing them, but you're sort of redistributing them, and that's totally fine. Whoops. And sometimes when you're doing that, you make mistakes, but that's okay. All right, I've got a few more pieces here. I think I'm going to use all of my delphinium in this arrangement. Sticking it in. One more piece. This is going to be in the round, so a round style arrangement. And I have a lot of bases here. I'll see if I fill them, but I wanted to be prepared. Okay, next up I'm going to use a few of my beautiful cherry brandy roses. These are one of my favorites. I love them. And they're a bicolor rose, so it's sort of orangey pink, red on the outside and gold. Like, it's incredible on the inside. And I've used these for weddings that are pink and things that are orange, and they just sort of transform where they are, what they're next to. And I happen to love them next to blue. So I'm going to stick them in here, and I'm cutting them shorter. I'm taking off the stems, and I'm sticking them in, and let's see how they're going to look. I think I want them sort of low, maybe a bit too tall. Let's see. Just going to use 3 of these here because I want to have a couple for another arrangement. Yeah, not my favorite. I think I want them a little shorter, but I'm also going to fill in what I see here is like a hole with a different flower right up here next. And that is going to be my wonderful white snapdragons. And these are nice because I'm just going to cut them down. I think the white is a nice fresh color. And I can tell right now they need to be a little shorter. So I'll just cut them, stick them in. Now obviously you could measure them all out beforehand, and I'm kind of sloppy this way, but I just do what I see. Do it that way. All right. Here we go. And then what I'm noticing is there's a little bit of a hole here where you can see too much of the stem of the rose. I don't like that. I'm going to stick in a bit of my cedar there to sort of cover that up so it looks a little more natural. Okay, and I think that did the trick. Something else nearby it. Alright. I don't want to spend too much time fussing this right now, but you get the idea. It's more of a traditional feel in a very beautiful vase, and I certainly love it. Next up, let's see. I think we'll do this one. Here I have another vase. No, I changed my mind. I want to do this one. Sorry, this happens to me a lot. Okay, another really beautiful vase that is actually an heirloom one that I have that I just adore the shape and the pattern on the front. So I'm going to use that to my advantage because the green in there is going to look really nice with everything else. So a little bit of the cedar, even though it looks sad like this, it'll work in here. I'm going to take off the bottom piece and save it. And then I can stick it in here. And all of these little baby ones, I call them, that I had pulled off the larger pieces, can fit right in. And that way I get more out of my cedar, which is really nice. All right. There we go. Then I've got a touch left of my privet berry, which I'm going to stick in. And here we go again. I want to use it all up. I'll cut this one off, and I then just turned it into 3 pieces by trimming it apart. And I'm letting this be kind of wild in here, like this. And then I have a little bit of this beautiful flower called Green Trix Dianthus. Same family as the carnations, and you'll notice that actually from the stems that they look a lot like carnations, but they're so cool. And they, for a long time, were only coming out of Holland, and now they're coming out of South America, and they're much less expensive, and now we can get our hands on them more readily. And I think they're super cool, and they last forever, which is nice. So I'm going to stick a couple of my Green Trix in here. I do want to show off that green color. So I'm going to just put 1 in here and save the other 2 for a smaller vase. You see how I don't plan things in advance, obviously. Okay, I do have 2 roses which I want to use left over. Oh, 3. Here it is. Cool. All right. Math is not my strong suit, but that's all right. I'm cutting them down. Any of the guard petals I can take off. Sticking this one in. 1, 2, 3. Then I have a couple pine cones. I'm going to use some of my other arrangement, but I want you to see that you can stick these guys in and make them part of your arrangement. You can't really see this thing, but